Hello and welcome back. Alright, so as I stated previously in the last tutorial that I did in the Blender introductory series, I had stated that I was going to start a video game design tutorial series on how to make a video game all the way from the ground up. Okay, and what I mean by that is we're going to go over what software we can use. Let's see how we're going to use it. We're going to go step by step, and we're going to learn, like I said, everything. Okay, and to help us along a little bit, just to understand what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be using, I got a little bored last night, so I made this little presentation. Okay, so independent game design, blah blah blah, for beginner all the way through advanced. Okay, and now with the software that we're going to be using and the tools that I'm going to give you, as well as like methods for making a game. They kind of go over beginners through advanced. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the next slide here. So what software can I use without spending a lot of money, and how much does it cost, and where can I get it legally? Alright, then I have an idea for my game, but I don't know where to start. What do I do? Then I have everything I need to make a game. I know how to use the software and whatnot, but it's really hard. Okay, these are the three main topics that we're going to cover today. Alright, so the first one is what software can I use and how can I get it? Alright, so this tutorial series for game design is going to be for 3D game development. Alright, so for a 3D modeling program, we're going to be using Blender, which the price is free and we can get it at blender.org. Alright, then for texture editing and whatnot, or if you just want to have a program to use in place of Photoshop, GIMP is also open source like Blender, and it's also free, and it's very, very powerful. And like I said, it actually competes against Photoshop, so I mean, hey, if it's free and it can do that, why not? Alright, and then third and finally, even though I'm sure a lot of you have already heard and seen other people using it, we are going to be using Unity as our game engine. And for the independent developer, it is free. However, if you're a concentrated team of, say, 10, 20, or a couple hundred people that are going to be using Unity, there is a price tag on it. But for an independent developer, for one person to, say, 5 people or something like that, it's absolutely free, so don't even worry about spending any money. Okay. Now, I have an idea for my game, but I don't know what to do. Alright, so first, I highly recommend getting a notepad or a drawing pad. And the reason why I say that is because before you want to start modeling a world, you really do want to actually start coming up with ideas on paper of what the world and characters would look like, what the texture of the ground or a building would look like, or even just a simple schematic. Okay, it'll save you a lot of time once you actually start modeling, so it's something that I highly recommend. Okay, and now depending on what your game is, this is optional, but if you do want to incorporate a game into your story, or, wow, that was backwards, if you want to incorporate a story into your game, go ahead and use that in the notepad as well. Alright, and then finally, be patient. I cannot stress this enough, making a video game is not the easiest of tasks, it's not something that happens overnight, so just bear with me. Take a little time each day if you can, and you'll have a complete game. So, I know what I want, but it's really hard. Okay, as I just said a minute ago, game development isn't something that you can learn in a day or a couple hours. It can take months to years to become a very good and diverse game developer. So, please have patience. Alright, and the same thing with making a game. If it's a small game, it could take you, say, a couple months, and when I say small, I mean like maybe 500 megabytes in size, down to, say, 30 megabytes in size, that's a small game. Now, in comparison to like games for the Xbox or PlayStation or something like that, those games, if you don't know, do range anywhere between 6 gigabytes in size all the way up to 30. Now those are big games, okay, and as an independent developer, if you want to make a game like a AAA corporation does, I'm going to say it right now, you're going to get fed up with it really fast. You're going to be taking a lot of time, and I'm not going to say everyone does this, but 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to make a AAA quality game by yourself or with a team of, say, 3 people, you're gonna more than likely give up, but not everyone does. Okay, some people actually do manage to pull it off, but it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of patience to do so. And if that is something that you want to do, props to you. And if you do manage to make it as far as beta, if not complete it, send me an email. I would love to check it out. Okay. So now, finally and last, are you guys ready to get started? Because if so, this is going to be really fun. It's going to be a little boring at times, but we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn how to model characters, create worlds, how to use sprites and particles, you know, how to do animations, texturing, testing, and then at the very end, we're going to actually end up building and compiling our games for either a PC, Mac, maybe even Linux, or the iPhone, or an Android device, okay? Or even the Ouya console that's coming out on June 25th, which is in about 5 days from now, which I'm really excited about, okay? Other than that, like I said, that's just the base overview of it. And just to recap really quick on getting the software that we're going to use if you don't have it already. Once you open up your web browser, the 3D modeling software, like I said, is blender.org or www.blender.org, and this is what it'll come to. Okay, and I already have a introductory series on how to get Blender and how to start using it, as well as getting the basics down of manipulating objects in Blender. And we're going to use those tools that I showed in that series, as well as other ones that we're going to learn on the way while making our game. Okay. Now, for texturing models, whether it's a character or a cup or a house or whatever, we are going to use GIMP. Okay. This is a photo manipulation program, like I said, that competes against Photoshop. Very nice, very powerful, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Okay. And last but not least, Unity3D.com, and this is our game engine of choice. Okay, the reason why is because, like I said before, for the independent developer, it's completely free. Now, the only downside to using the independent license is, like, for example, if you make a game with it and you test it out on a tablet or on your computer or something, or even if you launch it through, say, Google Play or the App Store or Steam or something, whenever someone starts up their game at first, you are going to see the Unity logo stating that the game is powered by the Unity engine, and that is a price that you do have to pay for being an independent developer with using Unity. Is everyone is going to know that your game was made by Unity. Okay, but however, at the same time, I mean, this engine is very powerful, and they're giving it to you for free. So it kind of outweighs seeing the Unity logo for your game, you know, because I mean, it's just a couple seconds, if that they see Unity. So I really don't mind it at all, and I hope you guys don't either. But then, like, let's see here. If you guys are thinking about buying Unity, just so you don't have that logo, or if you want to get a couple extra features for it or something, let me show you the price tag. Okay, and provided that you do have the money, the professional version of Unity is $1,500 for the bare minimum. Okay, then if you want to get a team license, that's an extra $500. And then, like, for example, with the indie version of Unity, you can export your game to PC, Mac, and I believe Linux as well as Android and iOS for iPhone and iPad. Okay, and that's for the basic versions. Now, if you want to upgrade to Unity Pro for just a couple extra features, not many, but just a couple extra features, it's an extra $1,500 per export. Okay, so if you're an independent developer, I wouldn't worry about any of this stuff right here at all. Okay. Now, the other part is, depending on if you want to or not, you also do have the option of exporting to the Xbox and the PlayStation as well. But you have to go through Microsoft and Sony first in order to actually make sure that you can get approved to even have your game looked at by them. That way they can say yes or no if they want to go ahead and put it onto their market. But this right here is the list of different platforms that you can use. Okay, and then if you really want to, I've actually played a few games over the years that are built on Unity that are actually ran in the web browser, and they're actually really nice. But that also depends on if you want to do that or not. Okay, so anyways, that's what we're going to start off with in this tutorial series. So in the next episode, we're going to go over a little bit about how to build a world for our game. Okay, so until then, please subscribe, and I hope you guys continue to watch, and I will see you in the next video.